Awesome. Welcome, guys, to Gentle Yoga. It's such a pleasure to see you. We'll be spending the next 45 minutes doing a lot of stretching, holding. The goal of this class is just to relax and unwind for the upcoming week. So take it as slow or do whatever you would like. All I'm offering is a series of suggestions. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's begin in child's pose. So there are two ways to do child's pose. One is to keep your knees closer together. That's the more modified version. But if you would like an inner thigh stretch, you can expand your knees to the outside edges of your mat and then slowly melt your upper body down to the ground, extending your arms nice and long and resting your forehead on the mat. Close your eyes here and just begin to settle into the class. While I'm speaking to you now, bring your attention to your breath. Feel your back rise and fall with every inhale and every exhale. And slowly begin to release any of the stress or ideas or thoughts that you may have had before the class. Any expectations, let's just take a few seconds now to let them go. This class is yours, so make of it what you will. Every part of our body needs a little different amounts of attention, so do what feels good for you today, and that will be different from what you need tomorrow or what you needed yesterday, and that's okay. Throughout class, we're going to be taking our Ujjayi breaths. This means closing our mouth at the top and bottom of every breath. That invites our body to heat up a little more so we can get a little deeper into our postures. From here, slowly move your fingertips to the right top corner of your mat. So you're getting a really beautiful left side stretch, a little bit of a shoulder work here. Everything we're doing is nice and gentle, so take things easy. Don't push your body in any way that doesn't feel good. And then slowly curl your fingertips back to center and then all the way to the left top corner of your mat. And feel this lovely side stretch on the right. Beautiful. Crawl them back to center. Keeping your elbows on the mat, bring your hands in a prayer pose behind the nape or the back of your neck. You should feel this stretch in your triceps. Maybe bring your shoulders down a little more if you don't feel a beautiful tricep stretch here. Always breathing into it. We're not clearing our mind in this class because that's kind of impossible. But if a thought comes to your mind, just watch it, observe it, and let it go. Beautiful. Release your hands back down to the mat. And slowly come up onto your palms, crisscross applesauce your legs, and bring your hands to your knees or thighs and close your eyes. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Every posture, even the lightest ones, is intentional in this class. And we're going to take the three-part breathing that we began last time. What does that mean? We start our inhales at the lower ribs, then bring them to the upper ribs, and then all the way up to your chest. We're going to hold each of these breaths for 3 seconds, and then hold it at the top for 3 or 4, and then bring it all the way down from the chest to the middle to the lower core. So empty your body of any excess air. And we'll take this inhale up all together. Inhale through your lower body for 3, 2, 1. Middle body for 3, 2, 1. And chest for 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the chest for 3, 2, 1. Middle for 3, 2, 1, and lower. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Inhale from the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Chest, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Bottom, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale from the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Upper, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the top for 3, 2, 1. Middle, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. I like to start class off with a little bit of breath work to really, really ground down. So let's take a few small, gentle head rolls. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder, and then your chin to your chest, and then your left ear to your left shoulder, and then tilting all the way back like you're looking up to the ceiling. Take a few of these counterclockwise motions, maybe pausing in any direction that feels extra juicy, a little extra tension that needs more tension. Take them nice and slow. I'm keeping my eyes closed. Meet me back at the center, and then drop your left ear to your left shoulder, then chin to chest, right ear to right, all the way back. And a few of these again on your own time. Breathing in and out, intentionally, deeply. And find your way back to center. Take a few seconds to center yourself, and then open your eyes. Bring your hands to your knees if they weren't there already, preparing for a little bit of seated cat-cow. Puff up your chest, send your shoulders behind your back, curl your back. Inhale. Exhale, round your shoulders forward, maybe look down on the exhale. Inhale, up to cow. Exhale, round to cat. Take a few of these on your own breath, matching breath to movement. That's the vinyasa part of this class. We're really just opening up our core and our spine here, getting a little active movement here. You guys look great. Just for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Meet me at a neutral spine. Preparing for some seated twists. Drop your right hand behind you and turn to the right, grabbing your right knee with your left hand. Slowly twist your body to the right. Maybe you look behind you. Make sure your spine is nice and straight. So keep your shoulders over your hips and just twist gently. My spine always cracks here. Can you go a little deeper by bringing that right shoulder a little further back? 1 more second. And then release back to center, and then all the way to the left. Use your right hand to press your left knee away. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. 1 more breath here. A little deeper. And then slowly unwind back to center. Bring your arms up like you're in mountain pose. So let's see how this works. You round your pinkies in towards one another, so that activates your triceps. You send your shoulders down your back and your chin a little up, like you're nice, tall, and proud. Beautiful. From here, inhale, and then exhale, goal post your arms so your elbows are in line with your shoulders and your hands are in line with your elbows. So you're creating a little L posture with your arms. And maybe you take a little back bend by bringing those elbows further behind you, maybe looking up a little bit. Nice. And from here, we're going to take some hand rotation. So drop your hands, keeping your elbows where they are, drop your hands low, and then rise them high, low. Welcome, Sharon. And high. Nice to see you. Beautiful, guys. Just opening up our triceps, creating a little heat in our bodies. Nice. Just 4, 3, drop your hands in 2, and 1. Drop your hands down, right arm on the mat. Inhale your left arm nice and high, and exhale, move to the right side to create this beautiful left oblique stretch. Keep your elbow in line with your ear. Reach up rather than out first. Can you get a little deeper? Inhale back up to center, mountain pose, reset. Exhale, drop your left arm down, reach across with the right. Feel this right side oblique stretch. Keep your right hip on the ground. You're just reaching across. One more breath. Inhale up to center. Exhale, drop your hands behind your back. Find a basket grip at your lower back. And then puff up your chest with your hands locked, intertwined together. Maybe look up. You should feel this beautiful stretch in your chest, maybe your shoulders. Move your hands further away from your back for a more intense stretch. You guys look great. And then slowly release the hand grip. Shake it out a little. I know that one's a little intense. Bring your hand, your right hand, to your left side in between your shoulder and your neck, and give yourself a nice little massage here. This is where I store a lot of stress. For me and in a lot of bodies, we store tons of stress in our upper shoulders, our upper back, and in our hips. That's where a lot of the tension goes because there's actually some real science behind it. Let's switch hands. Left arm reaches across to the right shoulder or right upper back. Dig a little deeper, some deep tissue massage here. Self-massage feels weird at first, but it's actually like another form of yoga and self-care. That's why I like to incorporate it a little bit in my classes. Beautiful. Release, preparing for tabletop pose. Come onto your hands and knees. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We're gonna take a few wrist stretches here. So flip both of your hands 90 degrees so they're facing the long edges of your mat. Your wrists are facing each other. Slowly rock left and right, opening up the wrists slowly and gently. If this feels really good to you, flip them one more 90-degree turn so they're facing your knees. So both fingers, all fingers are facing your knees and you're rocking vertically this time, or maybe even you take some circles. Nice. We spend so much time on our wrists in yoga, even when we're on our computers all day. There's a lot of energy being dumped into our wrists, and so it's really nice to give them some love, stretching them out before you begin any yoga class. Now flip your hands so your palms are facing up, the backs of your hands are on the mat, and your fingers are facing one another. And now take some circles or any movements here that feels really good. Really opening up our wrists here. We're just increasing the kind of level of intensity. And if this feels really comfortable for you, take the 90-degree flip so they're facing your knees. This one's really hard for me, so take this gently or skip it if it's too intense. I can't even move, I just slowly rotate in this one. Beautiful. When you feel like your wrists are nice and stretched, flip them back up and meet me in a neutral tabletop pose. We're going to take the full expression of cat-cow here. So inhale, lift up your gaze, your butt lifts, your back is bent. Inhale. Exhale, round forward to cat pose, puff up from your hands. Round spine, look between your thumbs. Inhale back up to cow. Extend the core nice and long. Exhale, round forward cat. Again, take these on your own pace, your own breath to movement. Maybe they're a little faster, a little slower than how I'm going. And again, stay in any position that feels a little more delicious than another. For 4, 3, neutral tabletop in 2, and 1, neutral tabletop. Create a flat spine here. Bring your left hand to the center of your mat. Reach up, open up to the right side wall. Right hand is in line with left hand by slowly rotating that right shoulder back. Keep your hips in line with each other, so maybe bump your left hip further left. Feel this opener in your right side shoulder and chest. Maybe give your wrist a few rolls here, really opening up to the side wall. This is probably the most intense posture we've done so far, so breathe into it. Inhale up. Exhale, round through, thread the needle. Bring your right hand through the hole created by your left hand and your knees, and slowly lie down on your right shoulder. It doesn't really matter what you do with your left hand. Some people like to leave it up straight in front. Some people like to take the bind. Wherever you are, you want to feel a beautiful release in your right shoulder. If you want an extra balance practice, begin to straighten out that left leg. So just your left toes are touching the ground. And maybe you even lift your left toes off the mat. This is really challenging. It's a fun, small balance practice. The option to skip it. I'm just giving you so many options, and you can pick whatever feels good for you today. It's hard to stay upright. I'm gonna fall. And then if you extended your leg, bring your left knee down to meet your right. Plant your left hand back in the center of the mat, and inhale, rise up to neutralize your spine, and then exhale back down to tabletop. We're going the same way on the right side. Bring your right hand in the center of your mat. Inhale up to lift your left arm nice and high. Stay here. So make sure your hips are in line with each other. So this time maybe bump them left, depending on which way they moved. Bump your left shoulder further back. Make sure your left hand is in line with the right. Can you twist even deeper? Beautiful, guys. You look so strong. Nice. Get into your deepest expression of the posture. Twist even more. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Send that left hand through the hole created by your right hand and your knees, and slowly come down onto your left shoulder. Do whatever feels good for your right hand. And breathe. I like to close my eyes in these kind of still, long postures. If you're up to the balancing challenge, begin to straighten out your right leg this time. And if you want a little more, begin to lift the right toes off the ground. See how that challenges your core to fire up. Can you even lift your leg higher? Flexing the toes. Nice. Just for 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly bring your knee back to the ground if it wasn't there already. Unwind by planting your right hand in the center of the mat again, inhaling that left arm nice and high, and exhaling tabletop pose. From here, step back into high plank. Feet are straight, back is straight, and immediately push back into downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Begin to pedal out your knees. One heel rises, one heel falls. See what it's like to bend your knees and send your chest even closer to your thighs by pressing through your palms. And then see what it's like to straighten your legs and how far your chest goes forward. Maybe even take these bent to straight leg rotations, digging deep into your back and into your hamstrings or shin or calves. We'll stay here and play around with this for a few seconds. Be patient with your body. Just the warm up. Take note of areas of extra tightness. And begin to find stillness here if you haven't found it already. Press away from the heels of your palms. Release your neck. No tension should be in your neck or upper body. Breathe. Slowly inhale, look forward. And exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Bring your toes where your hands were, hip distance apart. Take a generous bend in your knees and release your entire upper body over your lower body for forward fold. Option to take hand to elbow grip and release your neck nice and long. You want to bend your knees so much so that your chest can almost touch your thighs. You want to feel a release in your upper body and not too much heat in your hamstrings, just enough to get a comfortable, beautiful stretch. If you took the hand grip, switch it out so opposite hand is on top. Maybe rock side to side like a rag doll. That is the name of this posture, is ragdoll pose. Release your hands to the mat and then bring them in a basket grip behind your lower head and slowly tug your lower head closer to your chest, nice and gentle, so you get an added upper back stretch here. Gosh, this feels so good. Get a little deeper here. Maybe you can straighten out your legs a little more now that we're a little more open. And then release your hands back down to the mat. Use your left hand to grab your right ankle, the right side of your right ankle, and twist open to the right, rising your right arm nice and high to the ceiling. Take a generous bend in your left knee to make this posture available to you. And again, work that right shoulder back to really get into your twisted spine here. This is a pretty intense posture. So whenever you get overheated, option to ditch the Ujjayi breath and breathe out with your mouth. That will lower the temperature of your body. Twist a little deeper. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly come back to center, hands to mat. And then right hand grabs for left outer ankle and lifting your left arm nice and high. You guys look so good. And breathe deeply. This time the right leg can bend as much as needed. Working that left shoulder back in line with the right. Twist a little more. 2 more breaths. Make sure the weight of your toes of both feet are distributed evenly. Don't put all your weight in your right foot. And then slowly release all the way back to the center. Bring your hands to the mat, bend your knees, and bring your toes to touch at the center of your mat. On one big, long, beautiful inhale, rise up, one vertebrae at a time. Your head rises last. Up to mountain pose. Rise your arms nice and long above your head. Engage your core. Knit your ribs in. Round your triceps in so your pinkies are facing each other. Zip your legs together. Get nice and strong, nice and tall. Yes. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer. Close your eyes. And in this moment of class, I would like you to bring an intention to your practice today. Whether it's a phrase or a mantra or a person you want to dedicate your practice to, bring that to the foreground of your mind now. For me, my intention is this idea of santosha, which means contentment. It means satisfaction and comfort in whatever my body will be able to do today. If that resonates with you or your own intention, bring it to this next breath. Let's inhale all together, get nice and tall, nice and long. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Nice, blink your eyes open. Let's take a few little sun salutations here. Inhale up to mountain pose and exhale down to prayer. Inhale mountain, get nice and tall. Exhale prayer. Inhale mountain, stick your core forward, your hips forward, so you get a little back bend on the mountain, and exhale prayer. Inhale up to mountain with the back bend, catch it. Exhale prayer. One more. Inhale up to mountain, back bend, catch the beautiful core stretch. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale up to gold posting your arms so your elbows are in line with your shoulders again. Exhale, drop your hands, leaving your elbows where they are, down low. And take a few of these rotations again that we practiced earlier in class on your own time. Option to take pulses by staying in one of these postures and just pulsing your hands. That's a really nice way to heat up your triceps. Either posture works. If your hands are low, that heats up your triceps. If your hands are high, it's more biceps. Just for a few seconds here. I know these are kind of goofy postures, but I promise you they're a lot of fun. And then release your hands down behind your back, finding that basket grip, again, that we practiced earlier. Puff up your chest, look up to the ceiling, and send your hands away from your butt so you get an amazing core stretch here, as well as a chest and shoulder opener. Engage your glutes. You don't want to dump into your lower back here. Nice. Just for a few seconds. Can you get a little deeper? Send your hips a little more forward. And then release back up to a neutral spine. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, side bend to the right. Drop your right arm, reach across with the left. This is a more intensive version of that left side oblique stretch that we did earlier. Nice. Inhale up to mountain, reset. Exhale, bend to the left. Left arm drops, right arm reaches. Push a little deeper to your comfort level. And then reach back up to mountain. Catch the little back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands through heart center and send your chest towards your thighs. Take a generous bend in your knees. Inhale, flat spine, straighten your legs. Bring your hands to your shins or thighs. This is called halfway lift. Breathe here. You want to create a flat spine with your back. This is kind of like the intermediate pose between big forward folds and standing postures. Inhale. Exhale, plant your palms. Send your feet back to the back end of your mat. Plant your knees down and slowly lower your upper body down to the ground using all of your tricep strength to get there. Nice. From here, spread your legs nice and long so that your toes can touch the back corners of your mat. Bring your hands down to the ground so your hands are in line with your elbows. And slowly puff up your chest, using your hands to send your upper body, peeling your upper body off of the mat. So this is like I think this is seal pose. It's kind of a pseudo upward facing dog, sphinx combination. Engage your glutes. You should feel this beautiful stretch, back bend. So a stretch in your core and a back bend in your back. And just hold it for a few seconds here. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe bring your hands closer to your body for an even more extreme bend. It's crucial in these back bends that you engage your glutes. Otherwise, we're dumping a lot of tension into our lower back, and we want to avoid that. Breathe. Bring your attention back to your intention, whether that's this idea of contentment, or maybe it's just the idea of your breath. In a lot of meditation, they bring your attention to your breath as a kind of grounding place for your mind to go to. Just a few more breaths here. And then slowly release your upper body down to the ground in this wave-like movement. Bring your toes back to touch, and then push up into a high plank, and then press back into a downward facing dog. Take a few breaths and little movements here to reconnect back to your down dog. See how it's feeling a little differently than it might have felt at the very beginning of class, now that we're a little more open, a little warmer. Bring your toes to touch at the center of your mat. Inhale your right leg high. Open, bend, and stretch that right knee so you feel this beautiful right hip opener. Breathe here for a few seconds. Maybe you take circles, take any movements, or even stability, just to open up that hip. Slowly bring your foot to the top of your mat in between your hands. 90-degree bend in your right leg. Press your left knee down on the ground and uncurl your toes. And inhale up to kneeling crescent. So our left knee is on the ground, our hands are above our shoulders are above our hips, engaging your core, knitting your belly in. So you're not just dumping into your legs, you really want a strong upper body here. If you would like an added challenge, come up off of that left knee and take the full standing crescent. I'm going to take the kneeling crescent. Breathe here. Bring that left hip forward and right hip back to really stand up nice and tall. Nice. From here, slowly drop, I think, your right arm down to meet the back of your left thigh and reach up, creating a little back bend with your left hand. So right hand on left thigh, left hand reaches up. Maybe you look towards the ceiling. Can you sink a little lower here to get into that left hip a little more? Beautiful, Shay. Slowly unwinding, cartwheel your arms forward, straightening out that left leg, straightening out the right leg, flexing the right toes off the mat into half splits. If you have a block or a prop like a blanket, option to bring your hands on top of that now. The goal of this posture is simply to get a lovely hamstring stretch. So you want to avoid rounding forward with your upper body, just instead hinge forward from your hips, keeping your chest nice and tall. Keep a nice flat spine here and sink a little lower just with your lower core. If full splits are in your practice, option to go into those today. I'm going to stay in half splits. Again, in these quieter moments of class, the more reflective moments, come back to why you're here, or your breath. Sink a little deeper. Bring your hips a little lower. Slowly rebend into the right leg, planting the right foot back down on the ground. Bring your left hand to your mat, so it's right next to your right foot, and reach up, twisting to the right with your right arm. This is simple twist. Again, you can option, if you came down onto your knee, you can take your knee off the ground here for a more activated version of simple twist. Or you can just keep your knee nice and comfortable on the ground, maybe even bring a blanket below it. I feel this in my hips. Pretend you're like a towel. You're twisting out all the water, all the stress, all the tension. Can you twist a little deeper? Get a little more open here. Take one big inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand down to the mat so it's on the left side of your right foot. So both of your hands are on the inside of your foot. Toe heel your right foot to the top right corner of your mat. So you create a beautiful obtuse angle with your right leg. Your ankle is in front of your knee. That's kind of a critical component of this stretch, lizard's pose. If this feels really good for you, option to come down onto your elbows. If this is a lot, option to come up onto a block. Again, all these stretches are intended to make you feel real good. Nothing should be too intense. And play around with it. Maybe you maybe you bring your knee out and then knee in towards your triceps. See how that feels a little different. Wherever you are, keep your neck nice and strong, but not hurting it. Just look down on the ground. Nice. Slowly toe heel your foot, so it's back in line with your hands. This is the biggest movement we're going to do all class, so stay with me. Pop your left leg up to meet your right into Malasana. Sit nice and low for yogi squat. Bring your hands into a prayer pose and send your elbows nice and wide so they open up your knees a little. You should feel beautiful opening in your inner thighs and your hips. If this is a lot, take a block or again a blanket on and just sit on it. Or option to take like a fuller, higher squat like this. So do whatever feels comfortable for your knees. Again, you're creating a flat spine here, so sit up nice and tall. We're here for just a few seconds. Maybe take some movements. There's always option for mobility, even if we're in a kind of sedentary posture. Nice. And then slowly plant your hands down, step back into high plank, and then push back into downward facing dog. Hold it for a few seconds here. And then bring your toes to the center of your mat to touch. Inhale your left leg high this time. Open, bend, and stretch that left knee open. Again, take any movements here that feel good. Maybe circles, maybe straightening and bending the leg. This is your practice, so have fun with it. Get a little deeper here. Move that knee further back. And then slowly round forward, planting your left foot in between your hands. Drop down onto your right knee, uncurl the toes, and inhale up to Crescent Lunge on the left side. You've been here before. Let's go through it again. Knit your lower body in. So you're sitting up a little. You don't want to dump into your legs. You want to stand nice and tall here. 9-degree bend in your leg, your left leg, arms rise, engage your core, avoid a back bend. Beautiful, guys. Always option to come off of that right knee for more activated standing crescent. I'm going to stay on the right knee. Option to take a blanket below the right knee. And breathe here. Nice. Slowly drop your left hand down to meet the back of your right thigh and lift up a little with your chin and your chest, keeping your right arm nice and high for kneeling exalted warrior. Feel this in your right hip and breathe. Beautiful, Jenny. You guys look super strong. Can you sink a little lower while also engaging your core? Can you lift a little higher from your upper body? When you feel ready, slowly windmill your arms down to the mat, straightening out that left leg. Peel the left toes off of the ground for half splits. Sink into it. Engage your core. Bring that right hip forward and tuck that left hip back. Hinge from your hips, not your chest. And same options here to grab a block or another kind of book or whatever to keep your chest nice and high to create that flat spine. Come back to your intention. Can you sink a little lower? Awesome job, guys. Here we go, preparing for lizard's pose. Slowly bend into that right leg, or sorry, preparing for simple twist. Slowly bend into the left leg, plant your right hand down and reach up with the left arm. Again, same options here to bump up off of that right knee, right knee, in case you need a little more activation. If you want a lot more activation, you can come up off of your right hand and slowly just bring your fingertips to the ground. That's a lot. I'm going to come down onto my right knee. Twist a little deeper. We've done tons of these twists now, so our upper back, our lower back is really open. Breathe into it. Bring that left shoulder further back. Yes, you can. Make sure that left knee is still in line with your ankle. Just a few more seconds, a few more breaths. And then slowly release that left hand down to the mat. Toe heel your left toes to the top left corner of your mat. This time it's lizard's pose. Take any movements or posture that feels good. Maybe come down onto your elbows. Maybe take a block. Wherever you are, just own it. Sit up nice and tall. Nice. Release your neck so it's just looking down on the mat. Sink a little lower. After every 5 seconds of a holding posture, I love to just readjust. You always want to make sure something is activated, comfortably so. Breathe. Slowly bring those left toes back in line with your left hand, and then pop your right foot up to meet the left in this Malasana yoga squat frog pose. Really fun. Maybe move left and right, opening up those inner thighs. Nice. And then have a seat on your mat. Bring your toes to touch this time, your feet to touch, preparing for butterfly pose. Slowly hinge forward again from your lower core. Maybe using your elbows again to open up those knees. Nice. Sit a little deeper, sink a little deeper. And slowly sit up, closing your knees like a book, using your last bit of core strength to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, have a nice long seat on your mat, upper body on the ground. Bring your left ankle and stack it on top of your right thigh. Kick your right leg in towards your chest. Grab for your inner thigh and pull your legs towards you. You should feel that this is figure 4. You should feel this in your left side glute. If you're a little bit tight on your hamstrings, maybe begin to stretch your right leg long for an added hamstring stretch. Wherever you are, flex your toes. So you activate your shins and your calves. And then switch it out. Bring your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Grab for your inner left thigh this time and bring that towards your heart. Keep your lower back on the ground, maybe straightening out that left leg. Flexing both toes, all toes. Breathe. Can you go a little deeper? Can you move that elbow to open up that right knee a little further? Beautiful. Release. Bring your knees towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Bring your forehead to your knees. Take one big inhale here. Take in even more breath. Even more. And then open mouth exhale, Shavasana, straightening out your legs, your arms get nice and big, nice and tall and proud. You've made it. I hope you feel a little lighter than what you felt like when you arrived. Take a few seconds here to soak in your practice. Thank your body for slowing down. In our world, in our society, we rarely have opportunities or make space for slowness, for stillness. So thank your body. Thank yourself for arriving on your mat and dedicating 45 minutes to unwinding from the last week and preparing yourself for the upcoming week. You're welcome to stay here in this resting posture for as long as you would like. But if you would like to move on with class and seal out class with me, slowly begin to bend your knees and rock forward into a crisscross applesauce pose at the top of your mat. Bring your hands to prayer pose and slowly tuck your chin to your chest and close your eyes. Bring your thumbs to your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows, your seat of intuition. Namaste means the light, the love, and the teacher in me honors and loves the light, the love, and the teacher in every single one of you. We bow forward and we say namaste.